August 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, 1969 remain today possibly the most infamous dates in the entire history of live music, as that was the weekend that the way that concerts are attended and marketed was completely changed thanks to the legendary Woodstock Music and Arts Fair. The festival was actually moved a number of times due to zoning issues, and the city of Wallkill, New York opposed having the estimated 50,000 concert goers on their land. After finally securing the venue, the promoters actually had a lot of difficulty getting bands to sign on for the show, but after getting Creedence Clearwater Revival to agree, they quickly were able to get a number of other huge acts. Tickets for what was supposed to only be a 3-day event were $18 in advance and $24 at the gate for the entire weekend. And while an estimated 185,000 tickets were sold in advance, this number eventually became completely irrelevant. About 3 days before the show even began, it was clear that the security and fencing they had on hand just was not going to be enough, and the stage wasn't even complete, and crowds were already beginning to show up in much larger numbers than they had expected. So the night before the show began, the promoters quietly took down the fence around it, and this is in essence when the show became free. To say that the eventual crowd size was unexpected is a massive understatement, as it jammed up traffic on nearly every road and highway for miles in every direction. And while Arlo Guthrie famously stated that the New York State Thruway was closed, this never actually happened in reality. However, the facilities that they had on hand were nowhere near enough to handle the crowds that showed up, and when combined with the massive rainstorms, conditions were a bit bleak for the estimated 500,000 concert attendees. In fact, on the morning of August 17th, then Governor Nelson Rockefeller actually called one of the promoters to let him know that he was considering sending the National Guard in. And while personnel from a nearby Air Force base did help in getting performers in and out of the venue, Rockefeller never ended up sending in the troops. The lineup for the festival is beyond legendary, with everyone from Richie Havens to Santana to The Who to Jimi Hendrix to Joni Mitchell all playing sets. And many of these sets have become iconic unto themselves over the decades. But among other things, the festival proved just how much money could be made off of rock and roll concerts. And from t-shirts to higher ticket prices, you can really see this as the major turning point in the way that concerts were held. However, the overall sentiment of peace, love, and having a great time listening to great music still remains very much intact to this day. And when you look back at the most important events in the entire history of music, few can rival Woodstock.